welcome back to another explainer. Today, we're putting on our financial detective hats, right? We're going to piece together the story of a mid-cap stock that is just making serious waves in India's massive infrastructure boom. We're looking at a company called Skipper Limited, and we're going to break down exactly what's fueling this recent momentum, separating the hype from the hard numbers to see why this absolutely matters to anyone following industrial markets. Let's get into it.
So here's the big question. Out of the massive sea of industrial companies out there, why is this specific player suddenly on everyone's radar? What makes Skipper Limited the one to watch right now?
Well, the answer really comes down to these incredibly powerful macro tailwinds. India is right in the middle of a massive countrywide push for infrastructure modernization, plus a huge pivot toward renewable energy. And Skipper Limited? They are sitting perfectly at the intersection of these two national priorities. It essentially gives them a unique structural advantage in today's economic climate.
All right, here is our roadmap for today's analysis. First, the Skipper Surge explained. 2. Inside Skipper's business model. 3. Financials by the numbers. 4. Reading the technical charts. And finally 5. The intelligent verdict. So let's start right off with Section 1. The Skipper Surge explained.
Okay, so a perfect storm is brewing here. The whole market narrative around Skipper right now is completely centered on a potential inflection point. We're seeing heavy government policy support for strengthening power transmission networks and expanding oil and gas pipelines. And this lines up flawlessly with Skipper's incredibly robust order book. I mean, they aren't just out there looking for work, they actually have a massive backlog of projects lined up and ready to execute.
Moving along, let's look at Section 2. Inside Skipper's business model.
Now, taking a peek at how they actually make their money reveals a really strong foundation. 65% of their revenue comes straight from transmission and distribution structures. Think things like galvanized steel towers, power poles, railway electrification, the whole shebang. Then, the remaining 35% comes from their infrastructure and EPC segment. That's engineering, procurement, and construction. That covers everything from large-scale oil to gas and water pipelines. And you know what's really interesting? Their geographic footprint isn't just limited to India. They're actually expanding, well, actually scratch that. They already have a strong presence in international markets like the Middle East and Africa, which does a brilliant job of mitigating their geographical concentration risk.
All right, let's pop the hood for Section 3, Financials by the numbers.
I mean, just look at this number, 70.32%. This is a massive figure, representing their latest year-over-year net profit growth. It is literally the fundamental engine driving their recent momentum. But let's zoom out a bit and look at the broader context of exactly where this number is coming from.
Diving straight into those quarterly results, you can see the raw data backing up that huge profit jump. In that specific March quarter, net profit surged to 75.6 crores. Which is way up from 44.4 crores the previous year. And alongside that, they posted a stellar 29.42% jump in sales growth. Zooming out over the past 3 years, the company has consistently maintained a very solid 12 to 15% annual revenue growth.
But the real so what here is how this translates to their overall financial health. Their trailing 12-month revenue sits very comfortably around 1,500 crore rupees. We're also seeing improved EBITDA margins, which is a great gauge of their core operational profitability, hovering right in that 10 to 12% range. Translating these numbers a bit further, a debt-to-equity ratio of 0.8x shows a highly prudent, careful approach to leverage. You combine that with a return on equity around 16%, and you are looking at a company that's actively improving its efficiency to generate real profits for its shareholders.
Now, beyond the balance sheet, this is absolutely crucial. We have a massive trust signal here. Promoters, the insiders actually running the company, they are holding steady with a massive 66.5% ownership stake. Foreign portfolio investors are also hanging out around the 6% mark. When the architects of the business keep this much skin in the game, well, that sends a serious signal of confidence to the broader market about what's coming next.
Now let's check the stock speedometer. Section 4, Technicals, reading the charts.
Before we look at the chart itself, let's quickly refresh on the cup with handle. It is a classic bullish continuation pattern. The cup part basically represents a period of consolidation and resilience after a previous run-up. Then the handle is just a brief pause, kind of a slight downward drift right before a potential upward breakout.
And look at this. We can see this exact pattern unfolding in real time on Skipper's daily chart. Notice this long, rounded bottom of the cup? It spans a 170-day period with a depth of about 44%. After that massive consolidation phase, the stock formed the handle, resting comfortably right around the 464 rupee mark. It is currently consolidating beautifully above its 50-day moving average, which is a fantastic sign of strong base-building behavior. The momentum here is totally undeniable. Sitting at a current price of 464.15 rupees, this stock is rocking a relative strength rating of 75. What does that actually mean? It means Skipper is outperforming 75% of the broader market over the past year. Coupled with some really healthy accumulation from institutional buyers, this setup looks completely poised to challenge its 52-week high of 588 rupees, assuming this momentum holds up.
All right, time to synthesize our detective work. Section 5, the intelligent verdict.
Look, the setup we just walked through is undeniably incredibly bullish. We've got sector tailwinds, a massive order backlog, and genuine margin expansion. But as objective analysts, we've got to pivot and look at the very real risks involved here. The infrastructure sector, it is notoriously plagued by execution delays. On top of that, sudden raw material cost spikes, like the steel they use for all those transmission towers, or an unexpected slowdown in government spending could absolutely invalidate this entire bullish thesis. So it's a tightrope walk, a balance of high potential reward weighed against some strict, unyielding industrial realities.
Ultimately, this whole analysis leaves us with one incredibly compelling question. How will these massive, ongoing infrastructure investments continue to reshape the market in the years to come? And are companies like Skipper going to be the primary engines driving that growth? Just as a quick reminder, this explainer is strictly for educational purposes. It is definitely not a buy or sell recommendation. Always do your own due diligence and chat with a financial advisor before you jump in. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive today, and keep learning.